Anyone who's listening us for the first time? Oh, Hare Krishna, thank you very much. So many new people, thank you very much. We are running another group here. Okay. After the class, actually during the Prashadam, someone will contact you for free gifts. We generally have Ravindranath Prabhu, but right now he is busy in different services. But thank you very much for joining. We hope and pray that Krishna, in form of Bala Gopi and Bala Gauri, will allow you to come again and again and take this wonderful opportunity to serve with you. Thank you very much. Okay. Can we have one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly from bottom heart to shower the choices blessings on the people who are sponsored and the newcomers? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Now, it's my fortune to request today's Sunday feast speaker, none other than his guest, Karan Anand Prabhu, to take his rightful place on Vyasasana. Prabhu, you don't need an introduction. He's one of the very senior devotee in our congregation. He started his spiritual journey 27 years back. He's Brahman initiate, he's cook, he's pujari, he's amazing teacher, he's amazing friend and amazing guide to many. I'm one of those lucky people whom I can reach out to him for any spiritual as well as material guidance. So thank you very much for always being there patiently supporting anyone who approaches you. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji also taught in Sunday school. He coordinated various cultural activities, including drama. So Prabhuji is well versed. And material also is very well qualified in speech therapist and providing his guidance to many families. So thank you very much for being there and supporting all of us. Let's welcome His Grace Karan Prabhu in our traditional way by 3 times loudly chanting. Prabhu ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. On behalf of ISKCON Farmington Hills, we are very happy and pleased to welcome you all for this Sunday feast program. Thank you all so much for being here. Can everyone hear me well?
Yes.
Hare Bol. It's always good to have friends who always sets goals for you, right? So he keeps setting goals for me. Every time he says something about me that, go on, go on. Instead of the carrot, we can say, or Mahaprasad Barfi. He keeps showing me, move forward, move forward. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. Due to the interest of time, since we have a drama, we'll straight away begin with seeking blessings, invocating prayers. We'll sincerely seek the blessings of our spiritual master and our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, our lordships, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Malitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadadi Swapatandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapata Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once again, welcoming you all for this Sunday feast class. Sunday Feast program. Today, since we are continuing to celebrate Nityananda Triyodasi, we have a special drama around 1:45. Today, we're going to talk about overcoming unnecessary fears in life. Actually, this is a 2 hours topic. Does that cause any fear in you? Don't worry, I'll keep it as short as possible. So if you see carefully, I put the word unnecessary fears. That means there are some necessary fears also, right? We all understand positive fears as well. So we're going to discuss what exactly, we are going to have a format like this. What is fear? What causes fear? What is the nature of fear? And how to overcome fear? That's more important. What is the use of knowing all fears, right? So fear, this is the definition, for a fear. It's intensely unpleasant emotion. It is first of all intense and it is unpleasant. And it is an emotion. Most of the time, it is in response to perceiving or recognizing a danger or a threat. That is the definition, right? Actually, how many of you know how many fears are there in the world? Anyone knows? How many fears you can think about? Probably 10, 15. But you'll be surprised to know there are about 500 phobias accounted in psychology. Can you imagine 500 fears? Out of them, around 12 fears are most common. So we're not going to go in detail about what are the fears. In general, we're going to see, what are these fears all about? The nature of the fear, what causes fear. So I said 500 phobias. There was a king, his name is Bhartrhari. And this king, he was in so much love with his wife. So by seeing the beauty of his wife, he wrote 100 verses known as Shringar Satakam. But after some time, the queen, she was not loyal to the king. So because of that, his heart was broken. Then he wrote 100 Vairagya Shatakam, 100 verses on Vairagya. Interesting, right? And this is the famous word, some of you might have heard. And he categorizes all these 500 phobias into 9 categories. Bhoge Roga Bayam, Kule Chuti Bayam, Vitte Nirpalad Bayam, Mane Dhainya Bayam, Bale Ripu Bayam, Rupe Charaya Bayam, Shastre Vadi Bayam, Gune Khala Bayam, Khaye Kritantad Bayam, Sarvam Vastu Bhayanvitam Bhuvi Nirnam, Vairagyam Eva Bhayam. These are the 9 categories of fear. Okay. It will take a little longer time to discuss each one. Many of you know Roga means disease. Bhoge Roga Bayam. Fear of disease that always exists. Can everyone read? Is it readable?
Yes.
Can someone read?
Fear of disease always exists in the hearts of people. One may be very wealthy, famous, or powerful. Deadly diseases are all the time hovering over one's head to smash all of one's plans to pieces.
Thank you, Prabhu. So like that, can you just go on reading? There are all the other 8 too. It's too small? Okay, I'll read it then. Chuti Bayam. Go ahead.
This type of fear is related to family insecurities, losing a loved one, insecurity of not getting a relationship, like of not bearing a child, finding a good partner, this familial insecurity.
Vitte Nirpalad Bayam.
One who has immense wealth is also always fearful. There's a great fear of even in spending money.
Mane Dhainya Bayam.
This is the fear of being dishonored and insulted. For one who is honored, dishonor is worse than death. Jayadratha wasn't killed, but punished by humiliation as the punishment for kidnapping Draupadi.
And Rupe Charaya Bayam.
A powerful person is fearful of being defeated by someone more powerful.
And
Bale.
sorry.
Bale.
Bale Ripu Bayam.
Yeah, he already read it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And Shastre Vadi Bayam.
Someone very beautiful is fearful of losing one's beauty at the onset of old age.
No, that is the Rupe Jaraya Bayam. Okay, Shastre Vadi Bayam is the next one.
An intelligent person is fearful of someone coming up with a more brilliant idea than his.
Gune Kala Bayam.
People expressing some opinions and ideas which they themselves do not believe are in fear of meeting someone who has complete conviction and faith in a certain philosophy.
Khaye Kritanta Bayam.
Everyone is fearful of leaving his body at the moment of death.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, brother. So these are the 9 categories of fear, just for the information. Don't worry about it. And these are categorized, but sometimes the fear is unavoidable, unexpected. Once Akbar, we all know who is Akbar, right? Emperor Akbar. He woke up in the morning. As soon as he woke up, he entered the bathroom and he slipped down. He fell down on the bathroom. So he got so mad. Who kept this bathroom wet? So he started screaming at the guards. Don't you know this is the time for me to wake up? Don't you know to keep it dry? And then after brushing his teeth and finishing his duties, he came for breakfast. While eating breakfast, eating aloo paratha, at that time he bit his tongue. He got so mad. How many of you bit your tongue before? At least once? So irritating, right? Especially when you see something super delicious and you bit your tongue, it just changes the mood completely, right? So he started screaming again. And then he went to the assembly. When he was about to sit on the throne was little shaking. So he was about to slip and fall again. He got so mad, like this several things happened. So Akbar's mind, it made a conclusion. Today is a very bad day. Every step, there is a problem. So whom did I see first in the morning? So he's trying to recollect. So he thought, hey, when I came out from my bed, I stood in the balcony just trying to stretch my hands. At that time, I saw a farmer. Then he got, gods, go call the farmer. Then they found the farmer and brought him in front. And this farmer didn't know what is happening. He thought Akbar is calling, emperor is calling. And generally, when boss is calling, you are in fear, right? Most of the time, it's not to congratulate you or appreciate you. So boss is calling. So he was in fear. He came in front. He said, because of you, I've been having a very bad day today. So you're going to be finished today. I'm going to give you a death sentence. Just imagine, in the morning, that fellow didn't know what was happening. He was coolly, had his breakfast and about to go to his field. Suddenly, he was called and he was given death sentence. He was completely shaking in fear. Don't know what to do. At that time, he couldn't think. When we are in utter fear, super stress, mind goes blank. Then after some time, he realized there is one person I can help and I can get help from. So he was looking for Birbal. Then he went to Birbal and said, Birbal, Birbal, please help. Then Birbal, he approached King Akbar and said, Oh Akbar, you are the epitome, you are the emblem of justice. So we always love you and respect you for what you are. Akbar said, yes, yes, everyone knows that. And then he said, I just heard that, this man, poor farmer, he got a death sentence. So I just want to talk about it. May I? Akbar said, once you praise someone, they are in a position to listen to you. So I said, okay, go on. He said, yeah, I understand. Today you had a very bad day and he was the first person whom you saw. But think about him. I asked him, who is the first person he saw today? And he said, it is you. And because of that, he's about to be killed. He's about to be, punished with death sentence. So who is most unfortunate? Who is the most unluckiest? He just stopped. Akbar realized, thank you, Birbal, for saving me. You literally opened my mind. You literally opened my senses. Thank you. So these kind of unavoidable and uncertain situations can happen to anyone. It happened to the whole world 3 years ago. You all know what it is, right? Suddenly, one fine day from China, somebody said this virus coming up. Whole world went into panic situation, right? Everybody. Initially, the first 3 months were so panicky. Then later, we got used to it. So the point here is, it is not that, we just have to reject all the fears. We need to be careful. We need to analyze what exactly is them, what causes them, how we can rectify. That is important. That means we need to be considerate. If somebody comes and says, I'm fearful of this, you don't have to make joke. Are you scared of cockroaches? Ha ha ha. What is that? And actually speaking, there are people who are not scared of big animals, but scared of bugs. In fact, that is one of the fear. It's been listed as top 10 fears. Scared, people scared of bugs. So it's very common. So let's go with types of fear. We need to understand. First, we saw the categories. Now we're going to see types, positive and negative fears. Positive fears are important in life. We need to be careful. That's why we teach, if you touch fire, you will be burned. So we teach the kids, don't touch fire. It can burn you. That's a positive fear. And I'm sure all of you must have experienced when you are driving on a highway, whenever there is 65 or 70, we always tend to go at least 5 or 10 more, right? And we think it is okay. And especially when you are going little more than the speed limit, suddenly when you hear a siren, the cop siren, okay, then what happens to you? You get a palpitation. Am I going in right speed? Immediately you look at your speedometer. Okay, yes, I'm going fine now. And if you are going in a high speed, you will invariably think that maybe he is chasing me. And you will make sure that is he chasing me, right? That is also positive fear. I don't want to skip the red light, right? That is a positive fear. And for devotees, we don't want to lose the devotees association at any time. That is the worst thing that can happen to anyone, losing the association of devotees. Because we will tell, as we go further, we will understand. Even if you see, in case of the farmer story in Birbal, Birbal is the Vaishnava. And because of the association of Birbal, his life was saved. If not, he would have been hanged that day. So devotee association is very important. And also one devotee also must be very careful about not to hurt anyone, not to offend fellow devotees and fellow human beings. So these are all positive fears. Now, today, let us focus about the negative fears. That's what we are talking about, unnecessary fears. And among them also, there are some realistic fears and most of them are imaginary fears. The researcher says mostly 96% of the fear are imaginary or they are out of our control. Only 4% are real fears. There are some statistics given. So let's go to the cause. Since I said it is 2 hours, I'm trying to kind of bring it shorter. So that's why it appears like we are going forward. But let's try to focus on the causes and also the remedies, how to overcome. Causes of the fear. The main cause of the fear, the root cause of fear is ignorance. The main ignorance, the main ajna is identifying ourselves with body. Who says this? In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 2nd chapter, 37th verse, in the conversation between Maharaj Nimi and the 9 Yogendras, in that Sri Kavi, he says this beautiful verse, Bayam Dvitiya Biniveshatasya Ishat Apetasya Viparyayo Smriti Tanmayayato Buddha Bed Bachetam Bhaktaikayesham Gurudeva Dagma. Can anyone read the translation?
Fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as the material body because of absorption in the external illusionary energy of the Lord. When the living entity thus turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. This bewildering, fearful condition is affected by the potency for illusion called Maya. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage unflinchingly in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, whom he should accept as his worshipable deity and as his very life and soul.
Perfect. Thank you, Prabhu. This verse says what is the cause of the fear and how to rectify it very clearly. When you get time, please go back and read this. It's a beautiful verse for us to understand what is the nature of the fear. The main root cause is misidentifying as we are the material bodies. So again, first cause is the ignorance and the second cause is the uncontrolled mind. If you see Bhagavad Gita, what is the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Anyone knows the title of Bhagavad Gita? Observing the armies in the battlefield? Yes, thank you. So in that, if you see the very first verse, it depicts Dhritarashtra's fear. Dhritarashtra is fearful because it is happening in Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveda Yutsava. It is happening in Dharmakshetre, so maybe Kauravas, the chances for them to lose is high. So that is his first fear. And in the second verse and third verse, if you see, first it is the father, Dhritarashtra's fear. In the second verse and third verse talks about his son Duryodhana's fear. But Duryodhana being a king, he wants to hide his fear. But Prabhupada brings it very nicely. He was actually trying to hide his fear, but it is obviously seen. Just by seeing the arrangement, the formation of the armies, you all know the math, If you see Pandava's side, there were 7 Akshaunis. That's about more than 2 lakhs soldiers all put together, infantry, horse riders, horse soldiers as well as elephant riders, and chariot soldiers. All of them put together more than 2 lakhs. Like that, Pandavas had 7 Akshaunis and Kauravas had 11 Akshaunis. So you can imagine, this side is about 1.5, that side is about 2.5 million people on an average. It's huge, right? But the interesting thing is, Duryodhan, he has 11 Akshaunis. That's much more, practically close to double of what Pandavas had. But by seeing the quantity, that is 7 Akshaunis, what Pandavas gathered, he became fearful. Do you know why? Because Pandavas for 14 years, they were literally beggars. They did not have anything. How in the world, what did they do to collect these 1.5 million people? What did they do? And in military, if you say that there is no salary, do you think someone will work for military? No. But these Pandavas don't have money to pay. So 1.5 million people, they were doing voluntary service for them. Can you understand the intensity here? So thinking about, look at how could they gather 1.5 million soldiers? That caused fear. That means they're powerful people. I am king. I am emperor of the country. I could gather with all my resources. How could they do? That was the first fear. That is between the quantity and quality. So Pandavas had the quality. And second one, you see the confidence. See, just by hearing this, and then he saw the formation. Formation is the vyuha, the strategy. Usually you all might have seen in movies also. They actually form the phalanx, the armies in a particular way. And Pandavas had their armies in Vajra vyuha. It is known as diamond or thunderbolt vyuha. So it is shaped in a diamond like. And the other side, Mandala vyuha. And this side, the formation was done by Drishtadyumna. The other side was Dronacharya. But overall controller for Kauravas was Bhishma Dev, and this side it is Bhima. So just by seeing the formation, it's a Vajra vyuha. That means it is an attacking strategy. See, there are only 7, and there are 11 Akshaunis, 1.5, 2.5. So generally, when you are opposing a greater strength, you will go on a defending, not on attacking. Even in cricket matches, right? Suppose India is playing with some unknown country, like Cameroon or something like that. They won't initially ask for, just let's take the bowling, let's chase them. They will say, we want to play safe, right? So they will go on a defending mode. But here, by seeing that they are in attacking mode, that means they're more confident. See, generally, this is what happens. You might have seen during exam times, in your school days, there are some guys who take the book or who search for the book the previous day of the exam. And there are some guys who do revisions 4 or 5 times and come with confidence. But to unnecessarily create anxiety in others when somebody comes and, hey, did you finish reading? I only read 5 times, I don't know whether 5 times you read, I didn't even finish once. That causes so much anxiety by seeing the confidence. So by seeing the confidence of Pandavas, Duryodhana became fearful. And the third reason was Bhima. When he saw Bhima and Duryodhana, they had the same skill set. Okay, same strength, same teacher. But looking at his confidence, that again caused fear. See, first was the quantity, then the strategy, then Bhima. And fourth one is the inner voice in Duryodhana. What was the inner voice? Hey Duryodhana, what you're doing is wrong. All of us have inner voice. You may call it as Paramatma or you may call it as intuition. But the truth is we all have inner voice. And the inner voice always tries to bring you straight. Duryodhana knew that, but he was not budging to change. So that inner voice said, you are wrong. This is the problem. If you are on the wrong side, the fear increases. So if you are on the side of Krishna, the fear reduces. And the fifth reason is, you all know the story, right? Before the battle, both Duryodhana and Arjuna went. First, Duryodhana went to take help from Krishna, to ask help from Krishna, and Arjuna went right next to him. Duryodhana, being a proud, arrogant guy, he went and sat right next to Krishna's head. And Arjuna went and sat towards near the lotus feet of Krishna. And when you wake up first, generally you see who is next to feet, right? So he saw Arjuna and said, Arjuna, you ask first, what do you want? How can I help you? And Duryodhana wasn't again in anxiety. What is he going to ask? I came to ask for Krishna's Sena, the Narayani Sena, which is the unformidable, the most difficult army to deal with. Narayani Sena is the most powerful. So I want to ask Narayani Sena, Krishna's army. But Arjuna said, I want you, Krishna. Duryodhana became so relieved. Thank you. But he didn't want to show. By the way, since Arjuna asked, so I'll take the rest, I'll take the armies, as if he was being generous. But inside he wanted Krishna's army, the Narayani Sena. But Arjuna was clever. This is the problem. Many times we ask for Krishna's resources. Krishna, please give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that. But if we ask Krishna, then Krishna will give himself to you. That is what happened with Pandavas. The confidence is simply because Pandavas have Krishna with them. That's all. That is the confidence. So we also need to be careful what we ask. Do we want Krishna or Krishna's resources? Duryodhana took Krishna's resources, so that caused him more fear. Is that clear so far? This is what happens with uncontrolled mind. Bhagavad Gita says this beautiful verse, Bandhur Atmat Manastasya. In that verse, Krishna says this beautifully. For someone who has conquered mind, mind is the friend. If not, mind is the enemy. That's what was happening to who? Duryodhana. Is that clear so far? And then we spoke about this. And then there are other known causes as familial influence. Sometimes the situation in family is such that, they are pessimistic. The parents are not so well dealing with the fears. So that can influence the children. And desire to control. This is always there. This is the biggest problem in relationship. I remember a long time ago, one of my friend, he had some bad influence and he said, hey, can you tell me how to, have my wife under control? I said, if you have this attitude, your life is ruined. Finished. If you think you can control someone, that means your life is ruined. The very important thing is if you treat equally, your life is easy and safe. But if you try to control someone, you're going to be ruined. So that was an important aspect. We cannot control even our own mind. What to talk about somebody else? So the desire to control can cause fear. That's what happened with King Bhartrahari. He was trying to control his wife. Then finally he ended up, reciting verses on Vairagya Shatakam. So better not to have this desire to control. And unlimited desires, we have seen again and again in the pages of Bhagavatam. Who are the classic example for unlimited desires? Hiranyakashipu, Ravana. What did they not have? They had everything at their disposal. Even they had a eyebrow remote control. Hiranyakashipu's remote control was his eyebrow. When he raises his eyebrow, Indra will come and say, is the weather bad? Do you want me to adjust the weather? Like that. It's only eyebrows. He doesn't even have to say anything. That was his control. But because of his unlimited desire. Same thing with Ravana. They are ruined. And in fact, they had constant fear that what will happen, what will happen. Why my son Prahlad is not listening to me? Whole world is listening to me. Why not this guy? He's just 5 years old. Because of unlimited desires and unrealistic expectation. We all have heard it so many times. The gap between the reality and the expectation. I personally know so many people, especially who wants to get into the movie industry. Because of their expectation, it becomes so difficult. Many of them lose their life because of the gap between expectation and reality. Same thing. If somebody wants to get into the Indian cricket team, the 11, it's very hard. It's not that easy, right? Even if you are the best player, still there are so many other factors for you to be selected, right? Suppose at this age, I decide I want to be part of Indian World Cup team. Isn't that, no? We can understand that is the unrealistic expectation. So we want to be realistic. And then old age also causes fear for everybody. All of us have that. And then past life residue. For some people, something happened in the previous life. The remnants, the residue from the previous life can come along as phobias. That's why some children at very young age, they have some unexplainable phobias. That's because it's coming from previous life. And sometimes it can be from the present life also. In the early childhood, somebody might have heard a trauma that can cause fear. But we don't want to be inconsiderate. We want to be considerate. Fear is a real thing. But the more important thing is, more than eradicating fear, we want to manage the fear first and then overcome it. Is that clear so far? So let's move on to overcoming fears. That is the most important part. The very first step is educate. If you see, what is the root cause of fear? Anyone? Ignorance. So if you are ignorant, what do you need to get? Knowledge. So educating ourselves is the most important thing. So listening and reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam on a regular basis. If someone does read and listen to Bhagavad Gita on a regular basis, 100% that person will be free from stress, free from all these unnecessary anxieties and fears, because Bhagavad Gita gives the ultimate knowledge. And in fact, Bhagavad Gita is the first self-help seminar in the entire creation given by Krishna. Right? When Arjuna was in extreme stress at the life or death battle, he had extreme stress. At that time, Krishna spoke this. So, listening to Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is very, very important. See, this is given very nicely in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Very important verse. All of you know this verse. Jasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktir utpatyate pumsaha shoka moha bayapaha. If this is the first step, simply by giving oral reception to Vedic literature. What are we talking about? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Then the feeling of loving devotional service, bhakti, erupts. It actually sprouts up. So what it does? That bhakti sprouts up to extinguish shoka, lamentation, moha, illusion, bhaya, fear. So if you want to be fearless, first thing what you need to do is listen. Hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita on a regular basis. In that way, we can educate ourselves. And whose glories? Krishna Paramapurushe. Very clearly about Krishna and his glories. That is what is all in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So, very nicely, this verse comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talks to the Brahmana before the pastime of Prakashananda Saraswati. He talks to him and says this beautiful verse. All of you, very well-known verse. Nama Chantamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purnaha Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatvan Nama Naminu. It's very nice. Nama is Krishna's holy name. Namina is the person who has the holy name. That is Krishna. Abhinnatva, they are non-different. Krishna and his holy name, they are non-different. And what is that nature of the holy name? It is Purna, complete, Shuddho, pure, and Nitya, eternal, Mukto, liberated. And it is Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It is a transcendental form of all the rasas. And that is what is this Nama Chintamani. This is holy name. Why we are saying this? Previously we said about, we need to hear about the glories. And very importantly, in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the first chapter, a beautiful verse, Sukadeva Goswami says to Parikshit Maharaj, one of hope-giving verse, which many devotees know. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtidavyascha Smritavyascha Ichchatha Bhayam. He says, anyone who wants to be free from all fear, all miseries, what do they need to do? They need to do three things. Shrotavya, Kirtidavyascha, Smritavya. Shrotavya means hear. Kirtidavyascha means glorify, chanting. And Smritavyascha means remember. Of whom? The Supreme Person. Sukadeva Goswami is very clear. You don't want to take any chance. Gives 4 description. He says Bhagavan, Supreme Person. And then Ishvaro, Supreme Controller. Sarvatma, he is a super soul. And Harihi, he is the remover of all miseries. Can you understand how important he gives 4 description? So you glorify this person who is Krishna. How? By listening, by glorifying and chanting, and then by remembering. When you do that, what will happen? You will be free from all bhayam, and you will become abhayam. Right? Very famous song. What is that song? Bhajahure mana Srinandanandana Abhaya Charana Ravindare. That song, Govindadas Kaviraj clearly says, if you really want to be fearless, you need to worship Bhajahure mana. Who? The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. That is a very, very important. And in Kali Yuga, the most effective way to worship Krishna is chanting his holy name. That is why this verse Mahaprabhu says. Can you see this connection here now? Mahaprabhu says, Abhinnatvan Nama Namino. What is that? Nama Chintamani Krishna. Krishna's holy name is Chintamani, which is pure, complete, eternal, liberated. And this is non-different from Krishna. And this is the most effective way to be free from all miseries, which includes fear. Can anyone read this translation quickly?
The holy name of Krishna is transcendently blissful. It bestows all spiritual benediction, for it is Krishna himself, the reservoir of all pleasure. Krishna's name is complete and it is the form of all transcendental mellows. It is not a material name under any condition, and it is no less powerful than Krishna himself. Since Krishna's name is not contaminated by the material qualities, there is no question of its being involved with Maya. Krishna's name is always liberated and spiritual. It is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. This is because the name of Krishna and Krishna himself are identical.
Thank you, Prabhu. So very important for us to meditate upon. So what was the first one? Educate ourselves. That's the first thing. And the second one is having faith in Krishna. Faith can move mountains. All of you must have heard this. You know, once a little girl, she was going on a flight and she took a book and started drawing something and painting something. At that time, one businessman, he came in such a rush. You know, he was almost last minute. He boarded the flight. He came and sat right next to the girl. The flight took off. He just wanted to introduce and cool himself. Said, hello, how are you? The girl said, I'm good. Then she started painting again. And after some time, when the flight was up in the air, there was a heavy turbulence. We all know what is turbulence, right? When there is little shaky, we don't worry so much. But sometimes you see drops, you know, suddenly flight drops. That is the time it causes fear for many, you know. So this happened so many times. Even though this businessman been in flight so many times, this turbulence was so severe. And he was so panicky. And everybody in the flight, because usually it lasts for seconds, but this lasted for minutes. So everyone was literally screaming. But this little girl was completely satisfied and completely calm, and she was just trying to do what she was. At that time, the man was completely amused. What is happening to this girl? Generally, little girls, little kids are more fearful. When everything settled down, the pilot announced, thank you all for tolerating this turbulence. Everything is okay now. Let's have a good flight. Then this man asked, hello, girl, I just want to know, when we were all so panicky, so tensed, you were so calm. What is the secret? What made you so calm? You know what was the reason? We all know. The reason is because the pilot who is operating this flight is my father. And because he is my father, I was fully confident, since I am in this flight, he will surely take me safely home. So I don't have to worry anything. That is faith. For us, who is our Supreme Father? Krishna. We also want all our flights to be operated by Krishna. You see in Bhagavad Gita, the covers, Krishna is a chariot driver. You see the analogy here? Krishna is literally driving the chariot for his devotee. Why? Arjuna asked, Arjuna requested, can you be? So similarly, if he requests Krishna, Krishna, please drive my life. I don't know the directions. I don't have the GPS. Because this GPS, any GPS doesn't work here in this world. But Krishna, please direct me. Then Krishna takes over. So having faith is very, very important. When Srila Prabhupada, in the early days, Prabhupada had 5 children. The last youngest son, his name is Vrindavan Chandra Dev. And once Prabhupada was going in a tram, many of you from Calcutta, you know what is tram is, right? Here also we have literal trams. So tram was quite popular those days. So when they were going in the tram, they used to have a conductor. These days, there are no conductors in buses. But those days, they used to have conductors. You know what does he do? He comes and gives you a ticket, collects money. So this is for the, 2,000 kids. But anyway, the point here is, so at that time, the conductor came to Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu and he said, oh, little boy, do you have tickets? If you don't have tickets, I'll throw you out of the tram. He was just joking because Prabhupada was right next. You know what did Vrindavan Chandra Day said? No, you cannot. You know why? Because my father is here. And Prabhupada appreciated, that is faith. That my father is here, he will pay, and you cannot harm him. Exactly. We have our Father, Supreme Father. So when we have faith in the Supreme Lord, for sure, there is no question of fear. And I just purposely use this word affection marriage because some have little doubts about, is it really love marriage like that? So let's call it as affection marriage. So the difference between affection marriage and arranged marriage, in arranged marriage, at a point, those days at least, the bride will cry. That is, it's like, part of the program, like, right? So they will cry profusely. Oh, father, mother, I have to leave you. I have to leave my home. I have to leave my room. I have to leave all the facilities which I enjoyed here. I'm going to an unknown place. The fear is because place is unknown. People are unknown. Relationship is unknown. But in affection marriages, we already know the guy. And in fact, the guy is ready to do anything for me. And then we also know the in-laws because we've been their home and we have eaten, and they said, even if you don't know cooking, don't worry, I'll take care of you. Now you are like my daughter. So that fear is also not there. The place fear is also not there. So when you have that affection already, when you know the person very well, then there is no fear. So what do we need to know? We need to know the Supreme Person. How? First through hearing Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Okay, due to time, we'll just skip few things. And the third one is engaging ourselves. What does engaging ourselves means? Service. There is a joke some of you might have heard. Once a mother came, with a little boy, and she came to a little old lady, who's a grandma, and she said, Mother, actually, my son, he always have the habit of thumb sucking. Some of you might have known about it. Thumb sucking is a problem. So he always suck his thumb. So can you do something about it? He said, it's very simple. What you need to do? You go get shorts or trousers, pants, which is 4 inches loose. So what is that? What happens if you have a pant which is loose? You always have to hold it. So when you have to hold it, when your hands are engaged, how can you suck your thumb? So the easy way to get rid of thumb sucking is getting a loose pants. So similarly, the easy way to get rid of fears is to engage how the hands were engaged. Similarly, if you engage all the senses, Savai Mana Krishna Padar and the Bindayo. Who says this? Ambarish Maharaj. When all his senses are engaged, there is no question for fear. There is no time for fear, actually speaking. So engaging ourselves in services, there are so many opportunities for services available in this temple. Anyone can perform whatever talents you have, whatever skills you have. There is ample opportunity for you to engage in services. These are the 3 most effective ways to overcome fear. And 4 most important one is taking shelter of Krishna, who is none other than the holy names. When we take shelter, what do we mean by taking shelter? Taking shelter is not just an emotional feeling. Krishna, I want to take shelter of you. Taking shelter means, just imagine, the whole city is engulfed with water. And they say there is only one place you can go, is ISKCON Farmington Hills. And this is the only shelter available. You will do anything to come here, right? You won't mind taking all the risks to come here because you feel safe. That is what is mean taking shelter, because you don't have any other options available in this material world. The only way is to take shelter of Krishna in the form of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes. For some of us in the beginning stage, it might be a little difficult. So we can approach our mentors or who are helping us in our devotional service. You can sit with them. If you have some fears, I want to sit with you. You can sit with them and list down all the fears, analyze them, and then make strategies. And your mentors, your Bhakti Rickshaw leaders can help you how to overcome these fears. So basically, if we educate ourselves and have faith in Krishna and engage ourselves in service, taking shelter of Krishna in the form of holy names, this is the sure short way to overcome fears. And in this Kali Yuga especially, we are very fortunate No, the same Supreme Lord Krishna and Balaram, they appeared. You can see in the altar on the left side, you can see them, Nitai Patita Pavan Gaurahari. They came in the form of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is non-different from Radha Krishna, and Lord Nityananda is non-different from Balaram. And this Lord Nityananda is the most merciful personality. For every other personality, great personalities like Supreme Lord Krishna, he requires surrender. He says, Sarvadharman Parityaja, Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. But Nityananda Prabhu doesn't see any qualification, whether someone is qualified or not qualified, he doesn't see. What we need to do is have little faith and go to Nityananda Prabhu and say that, yes, Nityananda Prabhu, from today I want to chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and lead my life according to what you said. Then life will be perfect, peaceful, without any fears. So with that, we will conclude. We talk about first, what is fear, what are the causes of fear, and ways to overcome fear. So some other time we can go in detail. Now we are going to the next part of our program, which is a drama, a beautiful drama. So now we invite all of you on behalf of ISKCON Farmington Hills for the pleasure of our lordships, Sri Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha, Sri Nitai Patita Pavan Gaurahari, and our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, and all the assembled devotees. ISKCON Farmington Hills is very, very happy and proud to present this drama on deliverance of Jagai and Madai. It's going to be a very wonderful performance. I request all of you to turn this side. In that way, we can witness this wonderful drama. Those of you need space, there are plenty of space on my right side here. You can come over here and witness this drama. In that way, we can witness the magnanimity, the glory, ultimate glory of Nityananda Prabhu. How he delivered these two personalities, Jagai and Madai. Now, over to Divyatita Prabhu and his wonderful team. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for being here and your patient listening and attention. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Dear devotees, please keep your cell phone on silent mode so that we can give our heart to these devotees who have put in so much effort to make this drama happen. Please keep your phone in silent. Hare Krishna.
पद्मा हरिकांत माताजी हरी हरी
The Lord's activities are unlimited. If Ananta Shesha, with his unlimited hoods, cannot describe the wonderful pastime of Gaurahari, then what qualifications do I, a simple one, have to describe the Lord's pastimes? If I omit some pastimes of Lord Gaurahari, then I apologize to you, my nectar seekers. Forgive me, for we are limited here to only a short period of time. Once, on the instruction of the Lord, both Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur went door to door on the streets of Navadvip, giving the nectar of the holy name to whoever they met.
My dear Lord Nityananda, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally ordered us, whomever you meet, simply speak to them about Krishna. Surely there is no more fortunate position than to be preaching on the order of Lord Chaitanya.
Yes, Haridas, you are right. We must give out Lord Chaitanya's mercy. The fallen people of this age are all so tightly bound up in materialistic life. If we do not give them an opportunity to hear and chant the holy name of Krishna, they are destined for a hellish existence in their next life.
Come, there is not a moment to waste. We must press on and visit few more doors before the night falls.
Here is a house. Haridas, let us try this one. My dear sir, please give up your sinful life. Chant the holy names of Krishna and adhere yourself to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
My dear friend, what you say may be right, But what can I do? All my hours are spent in maintaining family members. I have no time for religion.
You say you have no time, but death may come at any moment, and you cannot say you have no time then. Listen, you do not have to neglect your family, but as a householder, it is your duty to free your family from the cycle of birth and death. Otherwise, what is the use of simply filling their bellies? Even the animals can do that.
This valuable human life is meant only for reviving our eternal relationship with Krishna. If you do this by chanting the holy names and living a pure life, do you think the Supreme Lord who is maintaining all living entities in the universe will let your family starve?
I never thought about it like that before. You are quite right. I must not waste any more time. But how I can change my ways?
The first and foremost thing to do is to always remember Krishna by chanting his holy names. Now, please repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If you always chant like this and live your life according to the principles of the Bhagavad Gita, then you will very quickly develop your Krishna consciousness. And you, along with your family, will become very happy and free from all anxieties.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will certainly follow your instruction. Believe me.
Jai, we will visit you again when we come back this way.
Now, please, you have been so kind to me. I must repay you in some way.
What on earth was that?
Oh no, it is those two dogs, Jagai and Madai again.
Who are they?
They are meanest pair of dacoits who ever walked the land of Bengal. Nothing and no one is safe when they are on the loose. I am going inside, locking the door. If I were you, I would not wait around here.
Perhaps we should avoid these two fellows. We do not want to cause any trouble.
Haridas, surely we must be merciful to these two fallen souls. For if they are delivered from their sinful ways, then the good name of Lord Chaitanya will be still more glorified.
Here, Jagai, look at this old man.
Come on, Madai! Let's do him in.
Yeah, I'll break his neck.
My dear friends, please chant the holy name of Krishna and give up your sinful life.
What? Vaishnavas?
You are the scum of the earth.
Come on, Madai! Let's tease these fools a lesson.
Yeah, come here, you two. Come here.
In Shiva, in Srivas Thakur's house, Lord Chaitanya is surrounded by his devotees.
The essence of all Vedic knowledge is included in the 32 syllables of chanting this Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is the reality of all Vedanta. The chanting of the holy names is the only way to cross the ocean of essence and is the only means of attaining love of Godhead. By humility and meekness, one attracts the attention of Krishna. Trinadapi sunitena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Therefore, if one becomes very meek and humble, then he can easily attain the lotus feet of Krishna in this age of Kali. In this way, whatever one does in executing devotional service must be accompanied by chanting the holy names of the Lord. O Nityananda Prabhu, O Haridas, what is the news of today's preaching work?
My dear Lord, by your unlimited mercy, many fallen souls were delivered. But there were two sinful rogues who would not listen to us. Somehow or other, they avoided your mercy, my Lord.
Yes, dear Lord, these men were two demonic brothers named Jagai and Madai. When we asked them to chant, they simply attacked us with filthy language and then chased us for miles. By Krishna's grace, we narrowly escaped, but they would have killed us had we been caught.
It is indeed a great misfortune that they could not be given your mercy.
My dear devotees, I am very pleased that you tried to deliver such degraded pair of fellows. Actually, I know these two brothers, Jagai and Madai. Formerly, they were very good young boys named Jagannatha and Madhava, born in a very respectable Brahmin family. But due to bad association, they became meat eaters, woman hunters, and sinners of the worst kind. But do not be downhearted. If at first you don't succeed, then try again. Somehow or other, they may be delivered. For everything is possible by the grace of Krishna.
Yes, my Lord. We will go to them again tomorrow and preach to them. By your mercy, they will be delivered.
On the streets of Navadvip, Jagai and Madai are arguing, and Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur appear there.
Look, it's those nonsense godmongers again. What? Came back for more? Have you? Well, take this.
It does not matter that you have done this. I still request you, please chant the holy name of the Lord Krishna.
How astonishing! I've never seen such tolerance. Madai, he must be a saintly person. My dear sir, I'm very sorry. Please forgive me and please pardon my brother.
Hey, what's wrong with you, Jagai? You lost your brain? Out of my way, you fool! I am going to teach this Vaishnava not to mess with me.
No, Madai, no, don't do it. Nrsimhadeva, Nrsimhadeva.
How dare you hurt Lord Nityananda! I will destroy you for this.
Wait, my Lord. mission is not to kill, but to deliver such rascals as this. If you kill these two rogues, then you may as well kill all the people of this age, for they are all practically as fallen as these. Please, my Lord, be merciful to them. I beg you, my Lord.
All right, I will spare you, but only on one condition, that you solemnly promise that from this moment onwards, you will give up all your sinful habits and take up to the chanting of Krishna's holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, as your only shelter.
Oh yes, my Lord. I'll do anything you ask. Anything.
I will turn over a new leaf. I promise.
Come now, my dear friends. Do not fear anymore. Although you were most fallen by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, you have become the most fortunate.
Oh Lord, thank you. Thank you so much, my Lord. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, my Lord. Thank you. My dear Lord, Gauranga, you are so kind to the Kali Yuga living in. For although everyone is so sinful in this age, you are really giving the highest benediction, pure loving service to Krishna, to anyone who simply takes shelter of your word. Let us chant the holy names right now. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki
Arriba! Nityananda Prabhu ki jai! Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai! Amazing drama. How many of you enjoyed this drama? Say Haribol! Three loud Haribols to the wonderful team. Haribol! Let's begin with, now let's see who is who in the drama. Let's talk about the notorious criminals who became pure devotees. How many of you know who is Madai is? Who knows who is Madai? Haribol! Sri Gopal Prabhuji as Madai! And our beloved Divya Tita Prabhu as Jagai! And we have the householder, Sunil Prabhu as householder. And our eternal Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all our dramas. Our beloved, His Grace, Advait Pran Prabhuji as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And our Harish Prabhu as Srila Haridas Thakur. And hero of the day, the most merciful, the most magnanimous personality in the entire creation, Lord Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Our beloved Sachi Sutta Prabhuji as Lord Nityananda! Nityananda Ram ki jai! And the narrator was our beloved Mukunda. And the whole drama was conceived, and yes, and other wonderful participants, Mohit, and who else? Atharva. Thank you, Atharva and Mohit. Let's give a 3 loud Haribol to Mohit. And several Matajis helped in getting this makeup done so well. Mataji, and then Aishwarya Mataji, and there was another Mataji who was assisting. Isha Mataji, she was assisting in makeups. That's why we are able to make up this role. So really grateful to all those devotees. The whole drama is conceived, scripted, and directed by our beloved His Grace Divyatirtha Prabhuji ki jai. Was the first time director. He was actually making all the audio clips. So please request all of you to pray for him. And then more along with that, the props were arranged by Satista Prabhu. He was running even at 150, 120. So we are grateful to Prabhu. And then the last one, the most important part, because we need the skit to perform. So Hemanga Gopi Mataji actually arranged that skit for us. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. The next biggest festival is
Prashada.
Yes, of course, that is there. But the next biggest festival is Gaur Purnima. In a couple of weeks, we are going to have biggest celebration of the year, Gaur Purnima. So let us all get geared up. Now we saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy along with Lord Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. We just had celebrated Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. So please stay tuned with us. And if you're not part of our WhatsApp group or any of our email list, please approach us. We will add you to the list. Now we will go upstairs for Prasadam. Once again, let us give a 3 loud Haribols to the entire team of devotees who have given the best performance. Haribol! Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
I want to be on TV. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Yeah. I can see the ball. I want to be on TV. So it's you and that. Hi everyone. You missed about this ball said it's kind of hot. Yeah, it's hot.